We're at Ho'omulahia, which is supposedly the most beautiful botanical garden here on Oahu. We drove all the way till the end of the road. There's a sign here that says road closed for local traffic only, so we parked at this parking lot. And our plan is to work it backwards because there's a bunch of other side of the road parking lots that you can stop at. So we're gonna park, stop, check out every possible viewpoint today. Everyone is here to take pictures, but there's actually lots of labels on all their plants. So if you are into plants, you can look around and learn about all of the plants near you. It's super pretty. We were trying to figure out if these mountains were part of a collapsed crater, but they in fact do just look like mountains. And if you look closely at kind of the ridges and the lines, I think that's where they've had waterfalls, or that's where water falls if it rains a lot. It's really impressive how close you get to be to them. I cannot believe how close we are. We were just driving and we saw this historic site which says it's a charcoal kiln, a stone and cement oven from early 1900s, and it's just kind of found here on the side of the road. The road is right over here. And here's the kiln. There actually is two. I saw a sign for one earlier, so I think there's another one on the other side of this little mound. So according to the sign, they use these kilns to burn down plant material to make charcoal. Oh wow, you can see the rock definition on the inside because the entire thing is built out of rocks into the ground.
So while we were in the back of the garden earlier, we were looking at this wall and wondering how it was formed. And we had thought that this was part of the volcano wall and the volcano would have been on the other side, or this was like a long arm from one of the volcano craters way over. But we came up to this viewpoint and we learned that we are actually in the crater right now. And what we thought was the outer wall was actually the inner wall of the other side. You can see this kind of dip between the section of the wall, and that is where the lava ran from what was the Ku'ulau volcano down to Honolulu. And everything else here has been flattened out like the crater cratered in, and now it's all a giant valley. And if you look in the far distance, you can see the Olomana Peak, which would have been part of the crater at the time, I bet. And in scale, if you can just imagine, that looks like a quarter of how tall the volcano would have been. So from here, we would have been looking almost straight up. Half the volcano is gone, that's right. So if you look to our left, you can see that there's no mountainous area. So that whole wall of the volcano crater is gone, washed out to the ocean. Once the fire of the volcano is out, the ocean is just more powerful and will slowly sweep it away over time. Either the plants will erode the foundation or the water will erode it from above, and then the ocean just comes in and sweeps it away.
So past the kiln on the other side of the parking lot, we discovered there is a small trail that said it goes to a lookout. So it's brought us up here. It's got some plaques that tell you about the mountain and the volcano that was here, Pele's land. And you can also see, we think this is the east side, since Honolulu is directly opposite from me. These are like the east side beaches. You can kind of look down, and it's a great little hangout spot. It's a little bit interesting. When you come up, you have to make sure you go right, because we were following some other people and you could hear a voice like, "Hello, you are trespassing, please turn around." So you do have to go the right way when you're coming up. I mean, it's like, what, 3 minutes to get up here? Yeah. It's worth it for sure. So if you want to come to this lookout, this is what the sign looks like, and you're going to want to park once you see either of these signs. Either you will see Kahualahua, and you'll want to go directly across to the lookout trail, or you can keep driving a little bit and you'll come across this parking lot, Kilonani Malka, and again, the lookout is just behind it. And if you want to find the kiln, that's just a little bit beyond this parking lot. You're gonna park here, walk down, and you'll find it on your right. We're about halfway through the garden now, and we're headed back towards the entrance. So far, I would say that the view of the Ku'ulau Mountain is beautiful. It's unreal, but I feel like even though they did put like plaques and signs on the trees, there's very little botanical garden about this garden. It's also interesting to me because we've never been in a botanical garden where you have to drive the majority of it. So you need to drive and then park, drive and then park. So you need to know which of the parking lots you want to stop at. But so far we've just been kind of stopping at all the ones that look interesting. And I mean, it's a nice time. I would say this is probably like a 2-hour visit to the garden. I will say a camera does not do this view justice at all. It's really beautiful, but when I take a picture, I'm like, this looks way better than the picture. We ended up going into the education center where they do have a trail. There's a QR code that you can scan, so it'll tell you about the park. But unfortunately, all of the trails to the lake are closed today, so we can't do any of the walks to the lake. And the lake, I think, is supposed to be a big part of this park, so that's kind of a bummer, but it does explain how each section does have different plants from different areas. So if you are into the plants and you want to know more about it, since it doesn't really say anywhere else in the park, you have to go into the education center to learn about which section you want to see. We're headed out. I would say liked the garden, beautiful views, definitely worth seeing. I mean, it's free. You can drive around and stop at all the places you want to. You don't have to go on any of the trails. I think we still had a good time, even though we only went to the Overlook Trail. Definitely look out when you're crossing the street. The cars do not stop. I think people are too distracted looking at the mountains. They're like, whoa, and they're not gonna see you when you're crossing if you just wanna randomly cross the street here. There are signs too that say like, don't take pictures while you're on the road. No stopping on the road to take the pictures. So just follow the signs. There's tons of parking. So you'll be able to find a spot. You can just stop and get out and walk around everywhere you go. So far, my favorite botanical garden of the gardens that we've seen is Foster Garden because they have the tours that they run every day for free. You're gonna learn a lot about plants. But if you want to come to a garden for the views, it would be this one.